to do is make our own Jin Stone markers. We'll need to make 3 of them, but I'll show you how to make one because past that they're pretty much the same. We're going to need something to put the marker itself on, and I've got a top off a milk carton here. I've got these old Chinese coins. They're fake coins, they're not real. I got these like €4 for 30 or something. So what we can do is secure these onto the holder, in this case this bottle top, and then we'll decorate it around to make a marker itself. You can cut the plastic off the edge of this if you want to, but I'm going to leave it on and see what I can do. I think it will help encourage people to hold the markers on the sides instead of grabbing them by the coins. We're going to need quite a few paints, and what I've got lined up here is Chaos Black, Bestial Brown, Codex Grey, Catechin Green, Fortress Grey and Astronomican Grey, and Snakebite Leather and Bleached Bone. I've got a whole bunch of other bits like some Woodland Scenics pieces, some stones and so on, and I'll just work through and show you how we put these together. Alright. Okay, now that our hot glue gun is ready, what we need to do is glue this coin on the back and attach it to the base like so. Now I'm going for somewhere just beyond halfway here. You can see that's pretty much secured already, but just to make sure, that's okay. Just to make sure, I'm going to put a bit more glue just on the back here. And we can always break these bits off later. Nice. Okay, simple as that. Just secure it to the piece like so, because we can't rely on any other kind of glue really, or the the paints or the clay we're going to put on. Alrighty. Now this has dried, what we need to do is cover the base with. I'm going to use clay. I'm going to use this Das clay. You can use spackle, polyfiller as well. I find that's very wet and just goes very flat. What I want to do is I want to shape this. So what I'm going to do is just apply a whole load of clay around here, and I'm going to let it go onto the side here a little bit as well. But as I'm leaving these sides so people can hold them, I'm not going to put too much on there. So just go ahead and fill either with spackle, clay, whatever you like to use, the whole base now, and shape it like a little mini piece of terrain. Okay, with the clay on the base here, nice and shaped in a reasonable way, what we need to do now is just add the stones and other items that we want on here, like the sand. By the way, I've just covered up the bottom of the main piece here with some of the clay, and pretty much covered it round the back here as well. Again, so it looks like it's been sat there for a long time. To add the sand at this point is useful because it's still wet, of course. So it's just a case of pouring this on, pushing it in, and like with all coverage, don't try and cover the whole model. This is a bit tricky, trying to do this on camera. So, on the wrong hand. Just go ahead and add these pieces, and also push in any stones that you want to place in there as well. And these will get, secured in at the same time as this is drying. So I'll go ahead and finish that off, and I'll show you in a second. Now that everything's dry, what we need to do is cover this whole thing in a good coat of black paint. So I'll go ahead and do that and then show you. Yeah. Now that the black paint's dry, what we need to do is put a good coat of Bestial Brown on here, and get the Bestial Brown, water it down pretty well, and then just splash it around all over. Avoid the stones, because we're going to paint those later. It's no biggie if you paint them, but what we want to do is cover up pretty much all of the base in this brown, and it doesn't look this brown when it dries. So don't worry about that so far, because what we want to do is create the work from the bottom up basically, create the soil and grass effect underneath before we add static grass and so on. So just going around painting everywhere that would be soil, really. So I'll finish this and come back to you in a second. Now that the brown base coat is dry, what we want to do is paint all of the areas that we want to look like stone, like the main piece here and these little rocks, the Codex grey. And we're not trying to put another base coat on here, so we will let a little bit of the black show through. So water the paint down a little bit, and when we're painting it, just be aware of not to fill all of the gaps. So we need to just cover up the piece like so. So this is the base colour for the stone, but do let some of the black show through like this, so we've got some a bit of character in the piece. Simple as that. And likewise on the edges, just let some bits show through. Not so much, it's not so critical on the back, but again, don't cover it 100%, leave a little bit there, sort of 80% coverage, and just do the same on the stones too. Cover those up. And we can always go back and touch some of these up if we get this a bit wrong. But that's the stone. So that's our first layer. Just need to cover it like that. That's pretty good. Okay.